Hey everybody, it's Rob from Flailthroughs. This is Gundam Battle Operation 2, and we are back with the buffs we would like to see. Um, we are starting out with the Gaza Sea. This is basically a re-record of of one we tried to do 6 months ago when I had all the settings wrong. I have double checked them before we started this time. We are recording. Everything should be good. But yeah, the Gaza Sea was one of the first couple of transforming mobile suits in the game. It is a cost 400. It has dodge roll and forced injector. It has a really devastating charging rifle with a really slow cooldown. And it has a couple of beam guns that can only be used in mobile armor mode. And the weird thing is it has a skill which would be perfect for those to be used while crouched. It does have one of the skills that gives you added damage when you are crouched, and yeah, the Gaza Sea just doesn't make a lot of sense, and it definitely needs a lot. Salty, what do you think?
This suit plays like a support without any of the good support weapons, essentially. Um, you have this really nice rapid fire beam gun. You get 4 shots out of it before it rolls red line. Then you're stuck in an overheat, and you have no sub weapons in mobile suit form. You redline your beam rifle. You're done. You have to hide. You got a beam saber. It's not a bad beam saber by any means. 3,000 on a downswing. Problem: you have no balancers. You have no melee combat controller. You have a single swing. Um, yeah. When you're transformed, your beam rifle pretty decent. Same charge rate, does high damage, 6K. Your beam guns on your back do relatively high damage. Uh, but those are your only two weapons in that mode. A lot of different games give this a sub transformation state in the form where it just hunkers down in a somewhat like a crab fashion, I guess. And you can hover around in this crab fashion. If it was up to me, this mode would be activated in a you would crouch, or I guess you could stand still and do this, and hit transform, and you would go into the semi-crouched form and have access to both your back guns and your beam rifle at the same time, but you would lose access to, uh, I would say, dodge roll. I guess that would make sense.
Yeah,
Uh, but otherwise, yeah, it's I think what year 2.5 when this suit released.
something like that.
Um,
Yeah,
because this and the Hyzak were some of the earliest suits to release for Zeta Gundam, if I'm not mistaken,
I
and
believe
the
so.
Gym
Yeah,
2.
yeah,
But I know this was the first transformation suit.
yeah.
So
I wanna say it came out at a similar time as the Zeta itself, because back then, uh, they tended to do a thing where if there was a new feature, they would give away a lower cost, a simpler mobile suit that had it, and then have the fancy version like available in the gotcha,
yeah.
as opposed to where eventually like the high value things now just kind of trickle down to other costs and hopefully you get them, but probably not.
So you can't give this de-transformation optimizer. You can't give it that. Just wise, you cannot give this suit that perk. This suit could transform maybe 3, 4 times before it was no good. Lore wise, the Gaza Sea was absolutely terrible when it comes to transforming, but the power it was able to afford the Knuckle Duster uh, is actually a very, very strong weapon lore wise. This is a very strong uh, kitted suit for what it is. It's just a mobile. It's just a construction mobile suit modified. That's all the Gaza-C is. So it's particularly strong in that regard. Um, and Neo Xeon's just like they seen these suits and modified them, and they're like, yeah, let's go. So detransformation optimizer wouldn't be a good one. Um, I feel like it should definitely have better thrusters. I feel like the thrusters are a little too weak for what it is, especially when transformed. I don't feel like you get much out of it. Um, I feel like the boost. What's that skill? A lot of the newer suits are getting the boost cooldown thing for beam weapons would be a
Oh,
nice would be nice for the beam rifle.
yeah.
Again, like I said, the halfway transformation state, it needs it because it just doesn't have any weapons to use. Or if they really don't want to give it that, it needs a crouching weapon where if I go into prone, I get access to those back weapons. It
Mm-hmm.
needs a sub weapon. Give it a grenade or a Sturmfaust or something. It needs something. Like
Yeah.
it suffers the same problem. Any suit that has just a saber or axe and head Vulcans or a grenade, it suffers the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's games moved way past this thing.
It was, to be honest, it was never really great to begin with. This was incredibly difficult to use from day one. You could use it very well if you were very careful about managing the heat on your beam rifle, because it does do pretty solid damage even uncharged, and it can fire very quickly. It was one of the first things that had a beam rifle that could do that. But yeah, just having the two weapons was never enough. Beyond that, mind if I just go from here?
Yeah.
Okay. Beyond that, yeah, it needs at least one more weapon. It needs balancers. Um, I know people get sick of the one saber, two saber thing, but you can see it has a beam saber in each binder. You can see it here pretty clearly. So yeah, it could have double sabers as another weapon option very easily. Uh, Man, like I almost want to say, overhaul it completely, make it basically the cheap bound dock, and let it have that claw attack while it's hovering. But that might be overdoing it a little bit at 400. I don't know, but it does have the big claw feet, and nothing it can really do with them. But yeah, it just man, there is so much you could do with this, and so much it just needs, because just yeah, like I said, it was always a difficult one.
It doesn't stop me from taking this thing out at like anytime I take it out and doing 130,000 damage though with it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of those that if you can use it well and if you're careful with it, you can do great. But just if 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 somebody is actually ready for you, if somebody is actually ready to fight that, you're gonna have a problem.
It's not fun when you fight someone who does like, oh, Gaza Sea, knock him out.
Mm-hmm. All right, we are following up with the Jim Kai, which, yeah, this is another one that is just a the Jim Kai was better when it came out. The Gaza Sea, like I said, was always kind of very very situational, and just you had to be really good with it to get something. The Jim Kai has just kind of been moved past. It has a decent selection of weapons. It can use the bullpup machine gun. It can use, I believe, the hyper bazooka modified.
Yes.
Yeah, which is, a fair bit stronger than the basic hyper bazooka. It also has this double beam gun, which can be, it needs better heat management. It is really kind of difficult to use without overheating. As I recall, it has decentish Vulcans, but it was another one that they, in the lower costs in the early game, they kind of divided out the things that the Gundam could do to different gyms. No one gym had the full skill set that you can get from that you could get from the Gundam at 400. It does have it only has a single melee swing. It has balancers, which the standard gym did not back at the beginning of the game. It has a dodge roll now. It did not when it came out, but yeah. So it definitely it definitely suffers from just the way they parceled out the basic combat skills at that point in the game. What do you?
You just try my shield. I want to see how fast I get.
Okay.
God.
That's how long that takes to make sure that the double beam gun doesn't overheat. It is so slow. Okay, so it takes about six shots. So I'm assuming about probably 5,000, 6,000 defense on the shield.
Yeah, it's got a healthy shield.
Yeah.
But so the Jim Kai is way too weak for what it is. Jim Kai is supposed to be one of the higher end gyms by the end of the war. It's supposed to be pretty much like pretty much at the same competition as the Gym Command, really, if you want to think about it. This is supposed to be like really up there, but it's not. I'm pretty sure the 300 cost gym is better than the 350 cost Jim Kai.
Probably so.
Just through the sheer amount of how many more slots it has, you could just outright just make it so much better. And Rob's right. This thing has a actually very, very impressive amounts of weapons it could choose from. It's one of the highest in this game, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Well, if you want my honest opinion, some of those weapons could be made into sub-weapons for this suit. Because again, most suits that only have 3 weapon options are not that good anymore. So it's got HUD Vulcans. Rob, you can shoot me and see how much damage you do.
38 a shot. Wow.
It's not as good as we thought. Let me see mine.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I have for this build. 65? You're the snow, so white on white's not that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, 65. So, I don't mind the damage being that. That's fine. But build stun I know needs to be upped because I'm pretty sure it's going to take a full volley. Or not.
Let me try and see what we get. Okay, yeah. So the Vulcans definitely need overhauled. You cannot stun with a full round of them, and they do practically no damage. Which, yeah.
Again, I don't mind they don't do a whole lot of damage. Remember, I'm probably running a tank build anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind it having one dodge roll, but it definitely should have double melee for sure.
Mm-hmm.
From there, I'm not too sure. Like I said, one of the weapons should be make the beam spray gun a sub weapon.
Yeah.
The standard, because it can take both the double beam spray gun and the standard one. So make the standard one a sub weapon. I think that'd be a nice substitute because I can't remember the slot or the distribution between its ranged and its melee. I think they're actually pretty even, if I'm not mistaken.
I want to say you're right. Yeah.
But otherwise, increase the turn speed.
Yeah.
This thing has only 48 turn speed. That's 3 points less than the desert, or 3 points more than the desert gym of all things.
Mm-hmm.
If anything gets behind you, you're dead. You're just put the controller down. You're not going to catch up with it. I've had things, and it sucks because I really like this suit. It's a handsome design. I have the model kit, the Master Grade. I have it. It's a beautiful kit. I have the Power of Gym, which is based off the Jim Kai. It's just, it's not in a good spot. It's like the Gaza Sea we just talked about. It's just not in a good spot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's again, this was a I forget if this was available at launch, but it was not it was not very long afterwards, and yeah, it just really suffers from being a year one mobile suit that's only been buffed basically one time to give it the dodge roll.
I feel, and this belongs to, I think, and I'm not talking about the suit itself, but I feel like most ballistic weapons, they should not bloom like that. Not as hard as they do. Uh, like, man, because for like a machine gun, you want to go crazy with it, but like after three shots with the bullpup, you're at like max bloom already, and you're not going to hit nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish they would adjust that.
Yeah,
Yeah, look at the Jim Kai, man, so handsome.
it is. Yeah. Little piece of trivia about this: the Jim Kai is basically the Jim counterpart to the Gundam Verka. A lot of the designs for mobile suits used in 0083 started out as an abandoned sequel to Gundam Sentinel that was going to cover the 1 year war. The Verka comes from that. The Zaku F2 was just the Sentinel version of the Zaku originally. The Jim Kai was the Sentinel Jim. So yeah, that's where a lot of those designs came from. But Sentinel being just a thing in general, they kind of got shelved and set aside for a different project, which eventually wound up being Gundam 0083.
Even though it's sort of like the Jim Kai's not the power gym quite yet, I could see it getting some perks that the power gym does have.
Yeah.
Some like because it does have the enhanced backpack, enhanced tackle would be good on this. Enhanced any of the enhanced jumping perks would be good, or the what's the perk that makes it fall slower would be good on this
Oh yeah.
because of the backpack.
Mm-hmm.
You could really tool this suit to be really good for a lot of different things.
Yeah. Just this is a hard one just because there is so much you could do with it and so many directions you could take it, and it's just kind of hard to think of exactly where to go because just yeah, it like you said, it has 6 skills. It has the very basic combat skills of 1 dodge and 1 balancer. uh it has ambac level 1, personnel radar, shock absorber, and level 2 quick boost, which yeah, that jump I did was me using quick boost. That is 20% faster jumping apparently. So yeah, just there's so much you could do with this, and just it's not just the issue of year one suits. It's also the fact that anything that starts below cost 300 at this point just needs more attention.
Yeah.
But in general, those are our thoughts on the Gaza Sea and the Jim Kai. If you have anything to add, if you have any suits you'd like us to do, any comments in general, please let us know. But for now, that is going to do it for today's Gundam Battle Operation 2. We'll be back soon with more. Till next time, everybody take care and have fun. Later.